As for today's final day here, final full day that I have, Legacy Monday, I was not able to reach early to school, not at the earliest time I'd wish because my mom ended up sleeping late and she took a little too long trying to prepare. For Spanish today, we had another diary and it was another imperfect and a preterite tense overview, and the sentences were very simple and the teacher picked at random. I noticed as he said that he's going to collect diaries and he's going to be finally doing this one last time. A girl right by me wrote really fast before he eventually collected it, and he said, like, this is really the last time that we're going to be doing this. And later, the teacher announced the future final and the finger painting activity. So today is a free day. We get to finish up and get things done ready for the main exams. The finger painting activity will be on the day of the final, as he says. Today is the last day, so I finished up 12 out of 20 problems on my other math homework that I did. And later, the teacher signed yearbooks, talked about the class, and it was mostly peaceful at this time. The teacher played background music such as Faded by Alan Walker and Unstoppable by CEO, which was in instrumental form. And today highlighted kind of the sad feel because today really is the last full day that I'm going to be having these classes ever again. I overheard a conversation at the end that someone's going to go skip a period. I'm not sure about that. For PE today, sort of fun, but it felt sad knowing it was the last full day that it would ever be. Today was not our daily laps, but we only had to walk 2 walking laps, no running laps, and we finished up the day. But during those 2 laps, I had my last conversations with each other, and sadly, I heard that Eli is moving away, so it's kind of mellow hearing that out. They said some funny things to each other, and of course, the puberty stuff, put it inside, quote unquote, and playing rough. And after all these 2 laps, they played volleyball. I played basketball, then I spectated the game a little bit until I reached the end of the period, about like 10 minutes to 12, 15 minutes, where eventually I stumbled upon Kalista and her friend. They tried to bait me into something, I'm not really sure. The teachers were then talking about some wildfire that might go on today since FD trucks were heard in the distance. The boys were also questionable today, but nonetheless they had aura. Nothing to see, but it is sad to see them go. Like social play tectonics dictates, people eventually go and move on. For science, today I'd enter class early and I told a girl nearby that I cried that I'm going to miss this class a little bit. As for work, we have a box question assignment where we have to make our own statements and make our own answer to them. And Lily accidentally pushed Taryn as the teacher was explaining the homework. And because it was her birthday tomorrow and the teacher, her birthday's tomorrow, not today, why are you pushing her? Should I call security? Quote unquote. And they fixed it out eventually, no punishments because it was a joke. And the teacher gave us free time, nothing much to do. Later, Jen joined the girls right by me and they did some work. I believe she also wanted to borrow my ruler too. And they did borrow my ruler. I was able to finish eventually. For science, Caleb and the others also had a conversation in general about the school and where they park. The class was mostly peaceful, not really much going on. Of course, some people in the typical ways cuss, but no disrespect. My ESL friend also right by me worked on math. Surprisingly enough, Salif today was acting a little funny and a little on edge with humor, saying like, "You are Mexican. I will speak for you," quote unquote. And he says, "Tu eres," and she almost threw hands at him. Funny enough, on an empty phone case that early on, Salif was caught with that, and after the teacher told him to shush, he caught showing that he actually had his phone out, and then later the teacher saw like on the phone caddy, it was an empty phone case, so Salif got caught lacking right there. But he did say that to Salif is that if he does this behavior on finals, then he gets an instant zero. But I'll miss this class too because they were pretty funny. The people here were pretty funny. And later, I was able to finish up the assignment, and we eventually left. History today was another final video guide assignment about garbage and its controversies that surround it on whether it should be in landfills or not. The teacher before said, if you guys don't want to present here, you can sign this paper and you're going to lose 75%, but you get credit, which was pretty aggressive, so I get why nobody signed it. But the video was by CNBP Trash Inc. Secret of Life Garbage. I heard about a possible fire going on eventually. And as for that presentation, I've already done the project for it. I've already finished up like the country overview. So if I signed that paper, I would lose 75%, but I already did it. So for most of the time at this point, the teacher gave free time to finish up our projects, but I already did the guide. I already did the projects. I just hung out and I talked to the guy right beside me. For lunch, I spent around 10 minutes waiting for my friends, but sadly, they're not here today. I probably think of graduation practice or probably taking the day off. But thankfully, I've already hosted the last Uno game on Friday, so I don't really have much to tie up here. I talked to my friends nearby, and I walked around a little bit until the class ended, knowing that this year is about to end. And good to note that during the morning period, right before I entered classes, I did wave to another random person nearby of who I did talk to before. And as for English, I bet a final 10 cents that students would be late. And I asked the teacher if she's crying when she grades her papers because her papers on her desk, it's organized, but there's a lot of stuff that she has to grade. So there was a little tissue box. I assumed she was crying, but she said, like, not yet. And as for the coin bet, Jackson and the others technically came late, so the teacher also did roll call, but there was not any like funny call outs this time. The teacher did say poetry presentations continue. This is the final day that we're going to do them. And the teacher also said during one, how impolite, guys. Please turn off your computers as people had their stuff out. Like that, though, as the boys are. I was barely holding laughter. And when I looked at them, I could not hold my laughter at all because during one presentation, the boys could not stop laughing. One of them played and baseball, and a kid was doing a presentation about baseball. So because they were laughing, they're about to laugh. I was trying to hold my laugh too. Later, there are also allegations that apparently somebody was recording the kid who was doing another poem about baseball. And as one of the boys recorded, apparently, the main speaker said and ratted him out to the teacher, saying, like, he's recording me, take his phone. And then eventually, the teacher caught the other student and he had his phone taken away. Also, another weird thing is that even though that other one was pretty funny and I was also on the verge of laughing, there was another chocolate poem that I really did not think was a poem at all. I think that in my opinion, what couldn't stop me from silent laughing at this point was the poem's lines that he said. fruity treat. And that did not feel like a poem at all, in my opinion. It was just a literal essay about why they liked strawberries. And I don't know what the teacher thought. Later, the teacher assigned a study guide, and I saw Jackson test out a bunch of new glasses he borrowed from others. And another said to him, "Never try on glasses," as Jackson was amazed with the glasses he was wearing. I also saw Carissa take Salif's PC for something. Later, the teacher called me for a Cody poem that I used. Is that she worried that I actually used the Cody poem document to turn it in because there were little fill-in boxes. The teacher wanted us to use a Google document to turn it online, but accidentally used the actual Google slide example. So now her AI thing is going all crazy. She already cleared it with me. As for math, today is another review of reviews. So along with angle practice on the board, we also did adjacents and opposites, and we also knew when they switch. We learned about SOHCAHTOA one last time, and we also saw for missing length, and we also did word problems. During one of the other times, the teacher heard a police siren nearby and said, "I hope that's not for Matthew," showing that Matthew does not know how to hear. The fifth guy was also funny though. Later on, is that I also looked at test results and I got 2 out of 3 word problems correct. Surprisingly, I thought I was gonna get all of them correct. And that fifth guy too, he made other humorous jokes, but I don't remember what they were. After that, I finished the remaining 8 problems that I had for this math assignment and eventually solved them. And while in the background, the fifth guy, the class, and the other people were having a bunch of fun. I know those people are definitely enjoying the day one last time. And as a side note today will also mark the creation of my Snapchat account and maybe a few other Mia sites that I'll link in this description or in the Instagram of my description. So it's gonna be there, guys. But today's the very last day. The day of Monday Legacy is over. We lived it like any other day, and it's sad to let all of this year go. But ultimately, as the natural laws of social plate tectonics and the idea of human thinking and systems, eventually the original configuration will no longer be. Not everybody's going to be in the same place ever again.